Okay, so I'm making this video because I'm quite passionate about this whole topic and I read a lot about this on X and other platforms. And so this is something which I was thinking about a lot, and I spent some time to come up with my own breakdown or what my own thinking around this topic is. As most of the big CEOs right now, the companies who produce these LLMs, what they say is we won't need software engineers in a few years. And the CEO of Meta is like talking about replacing mid-level engineers with AI. He's been talking about it a lot. The Anthropic CEO, he's on the same boat as well. Now, big tech leaders are lining up to tell you that the job you spent a decade getting good at is about to disappear. And your X feed is full of 19-year-olds. Even like my feed is full of these 19-year-olds shipping app in a weekend with no idea what a database index is. So if you are an engineer watching this, there's probably a quiet voice in the back of your head asking, am I cooked? Is the thing I built my career on about to become worthless? Or like, I'm making this video because I have been seeing that fear everywhere, in comments, in DMs, in conversations with other developers, and I don't think anyone is talking about it honestly. One side is telling you it's all over, and the other side is telling you that relax, it's all just a hype. And I think both of these opinions are kind of wrong, and I think the real answer is more interesting than either. Now, a bit about me. I've been building apps for over a decade now. I'm an indie developer. I ship products for a living, and I use AI coding tools like Claude Code, ChatGPT, Codex every single day. So this isn't a take from someone watching from the sidelines. This is what it actually looks like from inside the ship. Here's what I want to do in the next few minutes. I want you to take the fear seriously, tell you what I think is actually happening, and give you something useful to do about it. So yeah, let's go. I have prepared these docs here. So let's not pretend the fear is stupid, right? It isn't. The tool genuinely got dramatically better now. Things that used to take me a week or even a month, I can now do that in an afternoon. A teenager with Cursor and Claude can ship something this weekend that would have taken a small team of months in 2019. That's real, and that's not hype, and that's not going anywhere. And yes, the loudest voices in tech are saying engineering is going away. When the CEOs of the companies building this stuff are telling you your job is on the chopping block, it's reasonable to take that seriously. So if you're feeling anxious, you're not being dramatic, you are paying attention. I just think you are paying attention to the wrong thing. Here's what I think those CEOs are doing, intentionally or not. They are conflating two things that look the same from the outside but are completely different on the inside. They are conflating writing code with engineering. Writing code is the act of producing the text that makes a computer do a thing. That part's got cheap. AI is genuinely good at it and getting better fast. But engineering is something else. Engineering is the judgment about what to build, how it should be structured, and what will break, what happens when it grows, what you are trading off, and what the second order consequences are 6 months from now. That part did not get cheap. That part is, if anything, getting more valuable, because now there's a lot more code in the world being produced by people who don't have that judgment. Code generation got commoditized. Engineering didn't. And once you see those as two different things, the whole conversation now changes. Now, let me tell you how I actually think about what engineering is, because I think this is the part nobody articulating clearly at this point. In any deep field, engineering, medicine, law, cooking, anything, getting good at it looks like this. You spend years collecting the dots, little pieces of information, how this API behaves under load, why this database choice bites you 18 months later, what kind of bug shows up only on Tuesdays, why that one library looks great in the README and falls apart in production. Every project, every failure, every late night debugging session, that's a dot. Now, after 10 years, you don't have just more dots than a beginner. You have a denser, better organized map. And the actual job of engineering, the thing you get paid for, is connecting those dots in real time. When you're solving a problem, someone describes what they want and your brain is unconsciously running simulations against hundreds of past failures, hundreds of past wins, hundreds of edge cases you have personally been burned by. You're not just answering, can this be built? You are answering, what will this look like in 2 years? Who is going to be on a call when it breaks? And what am I genuinely trading away by choosing this path? A vibe coder working from one YouTube video or a X thread can absolutely produce working code. I'm not knocking that, but they don't have the map. They have a few dots in a few corners, which might look like this. And the AI is filling in the rest with whatever sounds plausible. And the thing about plausible sounding answer is you can only tell they are wrong if you already have the map. That's the thing AI didn't give anyone, the map. The map is still earned the slow way. Now, I want to be really fair to vibe coders here, because I think the engineering crowd gets this wrong too. Vibe coding is genuinely good. It is the best thing that's ever happened to people who have an idea and know way to build it. Validating a concept, shipping an MVP, scratching a personal itch, building the thing you have therapist suggested. Vibe coding is incredible for that. I cheer it on. Here's where it hits a wall. It hits a wall the moment things start to matter. The real user at scale. Edge cases you didn't anticipate it. The security boundary you didn't know existed. The performance cliff you walked off because you didn't know the cliff was there. The second feature that quietly conflicts with the first feature in a way that takes 3 days to even diagnose. And that's not a put down. That's just a description of where the handoff happened. There's a phase of a product's life where vibe coding is the right tool. And the second phase is the phase where the product is actually succeeding, which is kind of a beautiful problem to have, but it is a problem. And the people who solve it, that's you who is watching this video. Now, here's the part which should actually calm you down, which calms me down as well sometimes. And it's not vibes, it's pattern recognition. Every wave of better tooling in software has supposed to kill engineering. Higher level languages were supposed to mean we wouldn't need programmers. Frameworks were supposed to mean we wouldn't need backend devs. No code tools were supposed to mean we wouldn't need developers at all. Also, like cloud platforms were supposed to mean we wouldn't need infrastructure people. Every single one of these waves increased the demand for engineers. Not decreased, increased. Because every time the tools got more powerful, the ambition of what people tried to build expanded to match that. The work moved up the stack. It didn't disappear. We stopped writing assembly and started writing web apps. We stopped racking servers and started designing distributed systems. The job kept getting more interesting, not less necessary. AI is the next wave of that, not the end of the road. The ceiling on what's buildable just went up, and somebody has to be the adult in the room when those more ambitious things start hitting reality. That somebody is an engineer. Could the AI eventually handle the scaling part too? Maybe for some class of problems, but by the time it does, the ambition will have moved again. And there will be a new layer of judgment that has to be earned the slow way. There always is. So if you buy any of this, what do you actually do about it? Because don't worry, you are fine is not a strategy. Here's what I think. 1. Get closer to judgment further from typing. The engineers who get displaced over the next few years won't be displaced by AI. They'll be displaced by other engineers who use AI well. So use the tools aggressively. I use Claude Code every single day. I'm learning about agent orchestration, which I believe is the future where we are going into. It is not a threat to my job. It is a multiplier on my job. Treat it that way. 2. Get closer to systems further from snippets. The value of knowing the syntax of a for loop is going to 0. The value of knowing why this architecture will buckle in 18 months is going up, and your learning time on the second thing. 3. Pay attention to where products break, not just where they get built. Anyone can ship the happy path now. Almost nobody can debug the unhappy path. Become the person who can. And 4, and this is the one I most believe in, start building things end to end. Don't just be the person who writes the function. Be the person who decides what to build, builds it, ships it, watches it break, fixes it, and learns from it. That full loop is where engineering judgment actually compounds. And it's the one thing AI cannot do for you, because the dots only become yours when you collect them yourself. So look, the fear is real, the shift is real. I'm not going to tell you nothing is changing, because a lot is changing. But the thing that's changing is the tool, not the craft. The craft is still about judgment, it's still about the map, still about the dots you spent years collecting that nobody can hand you in a YouTube video, including this one. So you're not cooked, you're just being asked to level up, which honestly is what this job has always been. I'll see you in the next one.